Read and react quick to make an early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of Reggie Bush. From JT and ZT to DVP and AVG. Terminator to a quarterback Hunter JP. Steve Ross, the boss, King Flow, and card slinging gambling genius Slick Chris Greer.
Aha! We are back again. You are live. We are live with The Pro Show, the first episode of The Pro Show with your boy, JPF Scout, and my main man, Dr. Reggie Brown in the house. Yeah, and we are waiting on my boy, the notorious JP. On sports, we're waiting for Gino to get in here, and then we're gonna keep everything rolling the same way we have been. You know what I'm saying? So on this show, we are gonna keep it live, up energy, all sports, football, baseball, hockey, basketball. You know what, man? We'll talk it all. Don't matter. Is that JP in the house right now?
It looks like JP is in the
Gino's in the house.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're kicking this off here, the first episode of The Pro Show. Don't forget to smash and like that subscribe button. Like and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell another friend. We are running on the Dolphins Thirsty Network. And if you want to get good information on the Dolphins, great trivia, awesome quizzes, always up-to-date articles, go check out dolphinsthirsty.com. Are you thirsty? Drink it up. Tap the bottle in, twist the cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, go get that Dolphins Network stuff over there, hit it up live, and don't forget to check in with us here every Saturday at noon. Me and Doc are going to be rocking with you. We're going to bring you up on what's going on in the world of sports. Obviously, we're going to keep it all aqua and orange, so we talk about that stuff first because we love the Dolphins over here. We're Dolphins fans. But, so it's been a minute, man, since we caught up since the end of the season. So, what'd you think about how everything went down to the end and how it ended?
I think it was, it was a great season, up and down like a roller coaster,
Sure was.
we start off on fire. You think about Baltimore and that comeback, and then, Cincinnati, Tua gets hurt, and we go through that thing, and then Tua comes back, and then Tua goes out again. Such a roller coaster year. So Dolphin. So
it is.
And I think the playoff game, shout out to making the playoffs.
Yes.
That was the first goal of the team, was to make the playoffs. And so we accomplished that. And that game was so indicative of the season. You're down early, you battle back, roller coaster, and, we lose it at the end. But all in all, I enjoyed the football season. And, as usual, you get to this point, looking forward to free agent and getting ready for next year.
Oh, absolutely, man. They went out there and gave them all they could handle. Took the Bills down to the wire in their own house after they limped into the playoffs with one leg and a half an arm. You know what I mean? I'm proud of those boys. I really am. They went out there, had a wonderful season. I'm not going to lie. There were lots of ups and there was, lots of valley parts of the season like you just described. But that's a football season. They got to learn how to come together just a little bit more and play a little bit more together as a team. But, man, I'm really proud of those guys. They showed a lot of heart going into Buffalo and doing what they did. They almost squeaked out of there with the win, You never know what would have happened if they would have maybe got the play called just a little faster. It got that first down right there. You never know. Maybe we would have shocked the world, Chico. But, things happen, and we're the Miami Dolphins still, and we're still going to root for our team. Yes. No one should be hanging their heads about things about the season or how it went down. Have we had worse seasons, you guys, as Dolphins fans? Heck yeah, we have, man. We've had 1 in 15 seasons, and you still came back the next season and stuff. And I see people trying to say they're going to boycott the season out there if we bring in like a Tom Brady. I wish Gino was in here right now because I'd let him go off on some ham and eggers. He's ready to go off, man. I think he's having some connection issues, but I know he's getting ready to spit some fire at you guys, because right now the fan base is just doing something that I don't even know what you guys are complaining about. Like, there's a guy out there saying he would rather lose for the next 10 seasons rather than win 5 Super Bowls with Tom Brady. Are you kidding me right now, bro? Are you kidding me? That's got to be like you need to go check yourself in, bro, or you're from the the age group that just hasn't suffered enough losses.
Yeah.
We haven't won a playoff game in 22 years, and you don't want to win, dude. I don't care if it's with your grandpa playing quarterback. I just want to win, and I want to win, for a lot of different reasons for all of us. It doesn't have to be with Tua; it could be with anybody. What do you think about all of that?
Well, I think that Tua is our quarterback, but I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
That's right.
And that's how I rock with it. I was a Tannehill fan. I was a Cleo Lemon fan. Whoever lines up behind the quarterback, that's where I'm going with. And so
that's right.
Until somebody else is not our quarterback, until somebody else steps in, Tua is my guy. I totally believe in him and everything about him. I think he's a warrior. When you look at this season, I mean, injuries and all of that are part of the deal, right?
That's right.
You know that. But I don't know if a team has endured more this year than our team. You're talking about losing almost an entire secondary, and Byron Jones and everything that happened in Tua and Armstead in and out, and Austin Jackson and Liam Eichenberg and Mostert and everything, and for the team to endure all of that, continue to fight, continue to stay together, says a lot about what they think about the organization. It says a lot about what they think about the coach, and it says a lot about what they think about their quarterback. So I'm excited. Great year. Didn't achieve the goal that we wanted, but I think to your point, Dolphin PTSD is real, and
it is.
And people are absolutely, you and I are on Twitter, and people are losing their minds, man. And that's
it is. It's crazy.
But I'm gonna stay the course. I've been with them since '76, and I'll be to them till they put me in the grave.
Absolutely, man. Fins for life. Till they put us in the grave, dog. You can bury us in our aqua and our orange. That's how we're gonna roll out. That's my man right there. What he just said, I couldn't have said it no better myself. Like, the organization went through a lot to do what they did and to keep everybody together. I think Mike McDaniels did a fairly decent job. He kept everybody together. Like, everything you just described, there's exactly what happened. It was like a merry-go-round of like things that just kept happening. They compiled one thing after another. And like, we talked about this before, but when it got really bad was when we lost Brandon Jones. The dynamics of the defense just really changed a lot. Nick Needham, all of that stuff hurt us real bad. Speaking of Nick Needham, what would you think about bringing someone like that back? I mean, we need a cornerback spot like right now. Like, are you comfortable with bringing him back?
I am. I think that, all options are on the table for us, right?
Yes.
And we're in such a great position because we do have such a strong nucleus. We got Javon Holland and Cheetah and Waddle and Tua, Armstead, Hunt. So we have a strong nucleus. And now I think that we are some plug and play pieces away. Again, injuries are a part of it. But you have to say, if you're honest, if maybe Brandon Jones and Needham don't get hurt, we have a different type of season. But it is what it is. We got options though, and this free agent class is really, really good. Luckily for us, we don't need a lot. We need a player here, a player there, and for everybody else to stay healthy. And it's talking Super Bowl.
Yeah, right on. I agree. What do you are you on the side of bringing in someone that's a rookie to play these two crucial spots that I'm going to bring up to you, tight end and offensive line? Would you rather, and linebacker, I'll throw that one in there as well. Would you rather have a veteran or a rookie in those spots? This is from a player's perspective, guys. Somebody who used to play in the NFL. Would you rather go with a vet or a rookie?
Well, I would say from the offensive line, I really want a veteran. Offensive line has been an issue for the last 7, 8, 9 years.
That's right.
And we need to get that fixed. And so finding us a solid veteran, it doesn't have to be, an overpriced veteran. I mean, if you look at it, we got 3 positions pretty solid with Armstead, Connor, and Hunt.
Yep.
And so you look at 2 more pieces, and if we can get 2 even middle of the road, better than average guys to fill those in, I think we're going to have a good offensive line, and that changes everything. At the tight end position, for our system, the tight end position, you have to be a system fit guy. You got to have a particular skill set. And so wherever we can get that skill set at, if we can get it from a veteran, I'm cool with that. If there's a rookie out there that they feel really, really high on, who can fill that specific skill set, you got to be able to block. They run specific kinds of routes for the tight end. So if we can fill those with a rookie, I'm good with it, man.
He froze out real quick. He's coming back, though. I think he was going to say oh, there you go. You're back now, Doc. Go ahead. Continue on.
Yeah. Just saying that I'm good with a rookie, a young guy at tight end, as long as they fit the skill set that our offense requires, blocking and being able to run some specialty type of routes that we use with our tight end. As much as I like Mike G, he just isn't a system fit guy. He just doesn't fit what we want to do. His skill set doesn't, get it. So a rookie will be fine. But I definitely want a veteran, at least one veteran O-lineman.
Yeah, I agree with that. The thing about the veteran tight end, that why I would like a veteran tight end, is because of the learning curve from college to the NFL for the tight end position. It's a fairly hard spot to learn. In fact, I think it might be the hardest spot in the NFL besides quarterback to play. There's a lot of concepts you need to know, all the blocking concepts. You need to know the wide receiver routes. You need to know the tight end blocking assignments plus the tight end routes. It's a lot to take in all at once. And the movement. Yeah. Exactly. Like the nuances of the thing, like to hold the block a little bit longer, then release, not just touch and go. Like there's all kinds of different, as a former wideout, there's a lot of different combinations and things you can do. Yep. Switch releases, all the stuff you have to know. It's an overload. So it's a lot to ask a young man to do. But let's get to the monster in the room. That's a good time to segue into the next segment. We all know that Josh Boyer has been fired. And now the Dolphins have an opening at the defensive coordinator spot. There have been lots of rumors out there. We all know who the big monster in the room is. It's going to be Vic Fangio, interviewed for the job along with Sean Dassey. And I think they are going to do an in-house interview as well with Anthony Champel, the linebackers coach. I'll throw one more name in there. We haven't heard peep about him, maybe only besides out of our mouths. He is an old school defensive coach and has head coaching experience, and that would be Lovie Smith. Out of all those guys that I named, and you could throw somebody else in there. Like I think there's a Chris Richard actually is going to get an interview as well too. Which one would you prefer? And I think we all know everybody wants Vic Fangio, right?
Yeah, clearly Vic Fangio is just a proven guy, well respected. When you get a guy like that, the guys rally around him, that he comes in with the system that ultimately you're going to believe in. I think that in my mind, we have to look at the pieces that we have and what we want to do, trying to figure out what system best fits Chubb and Phillips and Sealer and Wilkins. What do we do with them? Do we run a 3-4? Do we run a 4-3 hybrid? How do we get those guys? Right now, our defensive front is our number one strongest position on defense. And so what do we do with those guys? Clearly Vic Fangio is our guy, right?
Yes.
The guy who we want, everybody wants. But, I think that if we don't get him, that's not the end of the world. And I'm being, cautiously optimistic that we have a chance. But I really just think that coaches coach and players play. We just, I think Boyer was just in over his head. He was a one-trick pony, and that's not to say, speak bad of him as a coach. He was a Dolphin coach, and when he was a Dolphin coach, I rooted for him. But I do think he was a one-trick pony with the zero blitz, and we need someone that can do multiple things and take advantage of our defensive line. The guy, I think he's really, really good. The guy Raheem, gosh.
Raheem Morris. Is that who you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think he would be a good pick.
I would love to see that. That would be awesome.
So that's my dark horse, if you
dark
will.
horse, Raheem Morris. I like that, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What do you think about Vic Fangio and the chances of us getting him?
I think that you have a 50-50 chance. From me, honestly, I think it's the only fit. And I know it's not the end of the world if we don't get him, but I think that's the guy you got to go all in for.
Yeah.
I heard was already in house. I've heard a lot of rumors. I heard the deal is done. They're just waiting for Philadelphia to be eliminated out of the playoffs, and they're going to put the ink to paper. But I've also heard that a lot of dust is kicked up around somebody else bringing him in, and I forgot who was with, but it's somebody. Yep, there you go. That's who it was. The Panthers are interested as well, and I heard it's starting to build a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
But I have not heard him going in there even for an interview yet. So I think the ball's still in our court, and I like the chances of us getting Vic Fangio. I think the longer it drags out, though, it changes those from being 50-50 to like 60-40, 70-30. It's going to get less and less. So we want to be Niners fans, I guess, this weekend, right?
Yeah, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be rough, bro. It's going to be a great game, man. It's going to be a great game.
Good game, but it's going to be tough on the Niners, man. But we'll talk about predictions later.
Yeah, we'll get into that here in just a little bit. Oh, Fangio is from my area in Northeast Pennsylvania. Sean, thank you for tuning in, man.
What up, Sean?
Yep, it's love to have you guys here. All of you guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. We're just getting started here. We'd love to have you guys come over and even get on the show if you want to. We can drop the link in the comment section. You could get in and tell us what you're thinking about. Maybe you know something we don't about Vic Fangio or a rumor out there that you've heard. I mean, I've heard lots of them right now. I mean, Tom Brady goes and takes a walk through a school, and all of a sudden, we're signing Tom Brady. Tom, are you coming to Miami? No, that's not what's going to happen right here, okay? He's building a house down there, and that's what they're going to do. They love the sun. They love to be there. But we already talked a little bit about Tua. I know he had his parents came out and did an interview, said that, Tua's going to be back and everything should be okay, but he's still not out of protocol. I don't want to beat a dead horse and talk about that too much, but what do you think's going on with that right there? And the reason why he's not out of protocol, we don't have a game coming up or anything like that, but maybe he's just recovering a little slower than most.
Well, I don't think there's any rush to do anything. The season is over.
There's not. The season's over.
He's not playing. You want to keep him around as long as you can. I don't even know what that means. He's not out of protocol. So
I don't either.
So that's crazy to me. But you need a story in the summer, so you got one. There you go. So you got one. So
yeah, that's something they're going to be beating up all year now.
yeah. I don't really think that's a big deal. He'll be ready for all accounts. The prognosis has been really, really good from everything that we hear starting next year. So I'm not concerned about our quarterback at all. I'm not concerned about all of the rumors, Lamar and Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers, and you need something to write about in the spring, in the summer.
Exactly.
For whatever reason, always he sells newspapers apparently. So whatever. I wanted to know from you, what would you call your highlight of this year? What was the moment, your best moment this year?
For the Dolphins?
For the Dolphins.
Oh, wow.
Was there a particular play or a moment?
I think there was two of them, if I can remember, honestly. I think I'll go to the first one because it's, in my mind, it's one that stands out the most, is when he brought us back from the Baltimore game when we went down.
Yeah.
I'm never going to forget that game now. That game to me is etched in my mind as like, oh my God, it was a classic. We came back, we won the game. We battled adversity and came out of it with the win when I honestly didn't think there was a chance in hell we were going to win the game.
Right.
So that one is a highlight of my moment of it. And then the other one would be, I think, the closest we came to playing a complete game, which would have been versus the Browns. I went over to a buddy's house and we were watching and had a good time, and we played a complete game. We were running the ball, we were throwing, our defense is all over the place. I think that would be the highlight of it for me. And then I will say we didn't end it the right way, but it was on both Buffalo games, especially the playoff game and then the one where in the snow. It's a highlight for me because I thought that we played so well, man. I really like the style that they played with. So those would be the highlights for me.
Crazy, because those are the exact same games that I would have picked. That, you know, even the second game in Buffalo that we lost.
Yeah.
I really, you know, the roller coaster, the up and down, the style of play, you know, I really, really enjoyed watching that game. I mean, we lost in, you know, you don't celebrate a loss, but just to watch that football game. And then that Baltimore game, man, you know,
that was so nice. It was so nice. Like, and we talk about it. Like, as soon as you ask me, like the highlights of the season for you, like in an instant replay in my mind, I seen Tua duck through, sneak over to the left, buy himself a little bit of time, and throw that pass to Waddle. And he jumped up there and caught it. As soon as you said, that's what hit my mind because it's just etched in there, man. He won us that game, and like, I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, and he's not everybody's favorite quarterback, but I'm telling you guys now, there's no use in breaking something that's or destroying something that's not broke. Like me and you talked about this. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Like, honestly, I think we need to stick with the kid. I know he's got a lot of people worried because of his health. He's even got me worried. I'm concerned as well. And so are you. I know you're like me too. And that doesn't mean that I'm not like, don't want to go get another quarterback to sharpen Tua's game. I want to see us bring. It's crazy to say this, man. Like, I'm going to say something right now. You can all hold it against me if you want to, but I am interested to see Tom Brady versus Tua. I would love to see Tom Brady versus Tua quarterback battle. Right. Jalen doing the waddle. Yeah. Jalen doing the waddle is definitely a highlight of the season too, especially when he did the one in Detroit when he waddled and Tyreek came over there and celebrated with him. Yeah, those were highlights. Or the block punt in Chicago, and Van Ginkel picked up and scored. Tyreek doing the backflip. Yeah, all those were so good, Sean. Definitely. Dude, those were highlights for me as well in my mind. Stick crisp. But, man, I honestly would like to see that, you know?
I would say, to your point, what we've seen over the past 3 or 4 years has been the maturation of a quarterback, right?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
On the field, and he has continued to check every box, right?
I think so.
The only box that he has to check is the
health box. I knew it.
That's a difficult one.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, and you know, it just seems like these things find him. You know, you walk into a situation on offense, the coach don't like you, and then you find a coach that loves you, and then you check he can't throw deep, and you hit Tyreek for a 60-yard bomb, and you can't throw in the middle of the field, and you kill the middle of the field this year, and all of those things. And then there's one more thing that he has to overcome. But the reason why I'm so excited for him is because every time people say he can't do something, he does it. Now they're saying health. So I suspect this coming year, he's going to be healthy for 16 games, and we go into the Super Bowl. So,
I love it. I love it, dog. In fact, like what would you consider checking the box of health? Like, a lot of people, if you ask them this question, or say he has to play all 17 games, they not knowing that maybe you have clinched and you don't need to play that last game or something. But if he honestly went out there next season and played, give me 15. You give me 15 games and I'll let you take, and you give 2 and you sit for 2. Are you okay with that? Would you check that as a clean bill of health and he checked the health box?
As long as they are not
concussions. I was going to say the same thing. I was going to put that.
If you hurt your ankle, you sprain your elbow, your shoulder, not just throwing shoulder, your right shoulder, I guess, for him. As long as it's not a concussion and he gives us 15, 16 games. I mean, the NFL is a brutal sport, man.
It's brutal, man. Brutal.
And very few people
play those games.
So as long as he doesn't have concussions, if he goes 16 games, 15 games, and is able to come back the next week, I'm good with that. I don't.
Same here. Same here. Like, are we crazy for feeling this way that we feel about the quarterback Tua Tagovailoa? Like, there's like a part of me that just I don't want to give up on the kid. Like, I won't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes I beat myself up and have a war of attrition. Like, bro, maybe he should retire, or maybe he shouldn't. And like, I don't know, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not giving up on the kid yet. It's too early. He's too good. You just need to surround him with some better talent and keep him upright, keep him healthy, make it a priority like you do for Brady. And I'll be honest with you, I'd love to see that battle, Tua versus Brady. And maybe, he wants to go to battle with some young dude. And Tom Brady be like, bring it. If he beats out Brady, then I guess that says enough, right?
Well, I love what you said about him, because I think that it's the salient point. He's too good.
He's too good.
That's why we root for him. That's why we want him as our quarterback. To me, it's not about Tua Tagovailoa as a player. It's about him as a quarterback. And in my mind, as a quarterback, he's excellent. He's a top quarterback,
top notch,
really accurate, can make the throws, is a leader. His team loves him. So you stick with that guy.
Yeah.
If those things didn't check, get him up out of here.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what I'm looking for, and this is going to shock the world.
Give it to me, dog. I'm ready.
Our backup quarterback next year for your Miami Dolphins is going to be Ryan Tannehill.
What? What? Yes. Oh my God! Yes. Hey, dog, I'll take it. It's an experienced quarterback, man.
That's gonna be.
I didn't even think about that right there, dude. I'm looking for a straight pitch. This dude throws me a curveball, man. Yes. Oh Lord, I never thought that was gonna come out of your mouth. Honestly,
man, he's a veteran quarterback. He wants to be a starter. We come to Miami. Something happens to Tua. We get Tannehill for a couple of games, man. Come on. Let's
I love it, man. That's awesome. What a call right there. That's good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Oh, man. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. You're only going to get these kind of live reactions here with me and Doc on The Pros Show. You know what? The pros know. That's why we bring on Reggie. We want to pick his brain on these things. They're all interesting stuff.
Let me ask you this. What do you think?
Oh my God, no Tannehill. No.
Oh, come on, Sean. Come on, bro. Bring
he is a veteran.
Man.
Oh, hell.
Hey, let me ask you this. What do you think about our salary cap situation?
Oh, man, I'm glad you brought that up. It's in dire straits needs right now, but everything can be worked out. I actually played with the salary cap calculator. You can make moves. You can ask, you need to do some restructuring. You need to ask Tyreek Hill for a restructure. You need to hit up Agba, see if he would take a restructure. You need to go to even Xavier Howard. I know we just signed him up, but be like, bro, we need help. Can you restructure? I think Terran Armstead, I would ask to restructure because of his health situation that's going on with it. Be like, we need a team-friendly deal. We need you to be a team player here. And then I think there's one more on there I would ask for a restructure, but I don't think he will do it. And I think you're going to need to look for a trade partner, and that would be Jerome Baker. I know no one wants to get rid of Jerome because he's played well for us, put in his service, had a good season last year. And he's not my favorite cup of tea for linebacker.
Right.
But I am going to give him his flowers. He had a great season last year. He played well. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing him back either. But I know people like my buddy Kendall Mack. He says he wouldn't bring back any of the linebackers, so he doesn't want any of them because me and him have talked quite a bit about this Vic Fangio thing. And I'm in the firm believer if you're going to bring in Vic Fangio, you're going to be bringing in a lot of linebackers. You're going to bring in edgy linebackers outside, off the ball. Steve Malloy, what's up, my man? Steve, good to have you in the house. This is the host of Real Talk Fins Talk. Love to have you here. Steve and Rob do a great show on the Fins Talk Sports Network as well, with Steve and Rob. And I think it's every Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, at I think it's 6:30. But they got a great show they do over there. Go check them out. But love to have you here, bud. Thanks for coming by. But like we were talking about, you know, they got to just figure it out. With Fangio bringing the guy that they want to bring in here, if you know anything about Vic Fangio, his style of defense, it's normally he runs a base 3-4, but he runs hybrid stuff. And like they'll put 6 linemen up there in some cases. Yeah. But what they like to do is show you a lot of confusing stuff. I read a great article that was on The Athletic that talked a little bit about this, showed some diagrams and showed how he will actually come up and show you like he likes to play a lot of cover 4. And what he'll do from a cover 4 is either roll it into a cover 6 or show you some sort of exotic look up front and then back out of it. He does a lot of weird stuff off the backside of that. Fangio is getting interviewed with the Panthers. Breaking news right here, right now. Steve, thank you, my man, for bringing that here. We love it. We love it. We love the news. So Fangio, that ball is rolling. We were just talking about this just a second ago about how we haven't heard any news about the Panthers. And now that is picking up steam, it looks like, and they are interviewing him. That's okay. This is all part of the process. That doesn't mean he's going to go to the Panthers. Yep, we love you, Steve. It doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. It's just part of the process. You know, Reggie, you know the game better than I do.
Yes,
it's just what's going to happen, right?
Yeah. You know, especially with a guy like that. And what we have to do is control the things that we can control. And one of the things that we can control is making him an offer that's going to be tough to refuse. You know,
that's right.
Again, for a guy like Fangio, you think money is really not the issue. It's going to be a system fit for him and what he feels like is going to help him get to a Super Bowl and win. Because, you know, he's been an NFL guy for a long time. So you can't, you know, everybody's going to pay for him. So the money is going to be the same wherever he goes. It's a matter of how comfortable he feels with the situation. And I would say that the Dolphins situation is one of the best situations you can get into. He said Cooper Rush.
Yeah, Cooper Rush. I was just gonna comment on that. Sean, I'd be all about some Cooper Rush being the backup quarterback for the Dolphins. In fact, I'm into like a handful of the backups that are out there right now. And I don't know if you guys know Barry Cunningham, but he was like, what? You're going to bring a Gardner Minshew? You think he went off the other day on one of his shows he does about the owner not bringing in some scrubs like that. But honestly, I would be into someone like that. Reggie, what do you think about like a Gardner Minshew, a Mike White, a Tyler Heineke, a Cooper Rush like he just brought up, or I'll give you 2 more, Brett Rippon or a Easton Stick?
Well, I think that, you know, considering our situation with our quarterback, right? And I believe that he's going to check the box of health. We talked about this already, that, you know, he's checked all the boxes and now he has to check the health.
That last one.
So I'm anticipating not needing the backup next year. But if football is a brutal sport and we need a really good backup and a backup who can win games and not just, you know, be a filler. So for me, I want to look at guys who've won in this league before.
Right.
And so, like I told you,
Ryan Daniel, I hear you. What do you think?
Ryan is gonna want to be a starter. He's gonna want to go somewhere where he can compete for a starting job. Somewhere like the Texans might be a place for him to go because they're gonna draft a young guy, and then probably, you know, who knows what will happen with David Mills and all of those things. But Gardner Minshew, Rush, the Rush kid is a good kid. Taylor Heineke is another name that I like. Foles, I like that name again. You know, you want a serviceable guy. But the other thing you got to think about too is a guy who fits our system, right? And things are so different this year. It was so different when Tua was out because I don't think Teddy or Skyler, for that matter, have the same skill set. And so we need a guy that's similar to who Tua is so we don't have to change everything.
Let me ask you this right now. And I think this is, I don't know, this is crazy. I've thought about it, but I'm like, nah. But with the way the 49ers are playing right now and Brock Purdy looking so pretty and playing so good right now, and they have Trey Lance, what about Jimmy G?
Well, I think Jimmy is not. He would be good for the system. He knows it. The issue for me is Jimmy wants to be a starter, and Jimmy is getting starting money. And so we can't pay him the type of money that he would want. If I'm Jimmy G and I keep winning, he's going to want, 15, 17, 20 million a year. And so for me, I like Jimmy, but how much are you going to spend on your backup quarterback? And so that's the concern with bringing in a guy like Jimmy G. We have to bring in a guy who is going to be good. Again, I think a deal like we had last year with Teddy, where you pay him the backup between $6 or $7 million, and you depend on him to win you 2 or 3 games a year should you need him, or at least be able to keep you in games. One of the things that we need to, with Skyler, as much as I like the kid, we had no chance really. And I mean, with him. And, again, I say that, and he almost won the playoff game for us, right? But that was more a function of the defense and the defense keeping us in it. But we need a backup quarterback who we can depend on, who can come in, and we don't have to tone down the offense. We don't have to shut everything down in order to keep the offense rolling and keep our big parts. I mean, you think about the Buffalo game, and Skyler, for whatever reason, we didn't get Water the ball. Very little with Cheetah, and so the whole offense almost disappeared from what we were used to. So getting us a really good backup quarterback, you want to upgrade at every position. And I think there are a couple guys out there that we can go out and get that'll be good. I like Foles. I like Heineke. I like guys who have played this league, been a starter before, know what to expect. You're not going to be rattled by, being in a playoff game if shit that come up. So we got options, and those are all the things. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, Steve said Miami offense averaged 23.8 points per game. Jimmy G averaged 24 points per game as a starter. Right. So
0.2 of a difference.
And the thing with Jimmy is he a serviceable quarterback? Yes. Does it make sense because of the money you're gonna have to pay him? It just doesn't make sense in my mind because he's gonna want $17 million.
Really? Yeah, that's expensive in my mind
I
for
would
some.
think, right?
Yeah, I would think something like that,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't do it for no 17. Like that's why I bring up the younger names, somebody who hasn't had as much experience as a Jimmy G, like the Heinekes, the Minshews, the Mike Whites, the Cooper Rushes. Like for my money, I'm not even gonna lie to you, and from what I've seen from my eyes, I'll keep pounding that Mike White table. I would love to Mike White to come back to. He's a hometown Florida kid. Go back there and play for the Dolphins and sharpen, give a quarterback competition. I will give out another name. He's on the 49ers practice squad now.
You're about to say one of the 49ers guys. I like Taylor Heineke. I think.
Yeah. You like Heineke? Yeah, I like Heineke too. The kid I was going to mention though is Jacob Eason, the 6'5", 235-pound kid from former Washington State or former Washington Husky. Big arm, former baseball player, so he can make all those off-balance throws, sidearm. However, off-balance. I like that kid. He can make all the throws. He would probably just need a little bit more time. That starter's pay, exactly. 17 mil. I can't do it, dude. I can't.
But I think that's what he's going to ask for.
Yep, I think you're right. And a new center, a right tackle, and a solid backup for Armstead. I agree, man. They're right there. Like you definitely need to get a center. Especially if you're just going to keep Connor. If you're going to keep Connor Williams at center, I'm fine with that. But you got to bring in somebody different than a Michael Dieter to play backup center. That's my honest opinion. You need another center. Reggie Brown in the house. Hell yeah! Look at that right there, buddy. Touchdown. Yeah.
You are wow. I'll tell you, I want the center to be able to play center and guard, right? It has to be, Michael Dieter just didn't give us anything. So
no,
I don't necessarily say a new center because Connor, I think, is going to be with us for a while. I mean, he had a phenomenal year, top 5 guy at his position. Really, in my mind, should have been a Pro Bowler. If
right.
Even though the Pro Bowler is not a real thing.
Right. That's a whole other issue, right?
Right. But again, at those positions, a backup for Tyron, for Armstead, and a guard and another tackle and a center. And, we talked about this earlier with the way that we can restructure. I've seen different, Spotrac and looked at some stuff, somewhere between, we can realistically look at having somewhere between 38 to 55, somewhere like that. Some places have even said 61, but somewhere between 35 and 61. I get a little antsy because we are in a win now mode, but you keep kicking it down the street and kicking the money down the road, and eventually you're going to have to pay up. So
that's right.
I don't want to get crazy with it from a long-term stability standpoint of the Dolphins. But I do think that right now we're in this 3 to 4 year window that we have to do everything humanly possible to win and go out and get the players and the coaches to be able to take us to a Super Bowl.
I agree. And that range you just brought up right there is exactly the range I was thinking about. That window, I'm thinking like 30, 40, maybe 50 million, something like that. And like you just said, I don't want to kick the can down the road to have to pay the piper later. It's going to hurt us in the long run. You want to win a championship, a ring, before you have to pay Tua his first contract. You got a big decision to make here come May 24th, whether or not you're going to pick up Tua's 5th year option or not. I don't know what to even think about it. I'm not qualified to make that kind of decision. And if I was, I'll be honest with you, I'm not picking up that option quite yet. I'm going to make you go into that season, play it out, show me that you can check off that last box of clean health. What do you think about that?
That's tough, man.
It is. Really, these are the decisions they got to make, though.
It's really, really tough. And that's why, Greg gets paid. So it depends to me on, and again, it's such a difficult decision because of the health. If you remove the health, it's a no-brainer.
Sign me up.
Right?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Considering the health, now what do? Yeah. Considering the health, what do? I would really want to have some conversations with some doctors. There's a scenario where I would pick it up if the doctors are saying, look, the concussions this year are not, and that's what I'm hearing, and it doesn't make sense to me, but apparently this is a thing that the concussions this year does not necessarily predict concussions for next year. So they're all kind of like individual, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a predictor of future ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense to me. If that's the case, I might go ahead and go with it. If you're telling me that just because he had a concussion this year doesn't mean he's going to have one next year, then I could see. But, that's a decision that they'll have to make. And I think they'll make that decision. I mean, you got to kind of look at it. Christian Wilkins is finna get the bag.
That's right, man. He's getting ready to get a big old bag, bro. Yep, and, absolutely.
He really, more than anybody, has threw a monkey wrench in everything.
I think so.
You really thought that he was going to be, maybe a $7 million a year guy. Prior
Not
to
no
this
more.
year. prior to this year, right?
I feel you.
Yeah. And now, he has really turned in, he's made it hard for everybody. And
let me see. He says, with the exception of Mahomes, every quarterback in the championship game is on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
You're right. You're totally right, man. You're exactly. And look, they're in line to win. Let's go, Burrow. That's who I'm cheering for. I'd like to see that guy win to get one out. Ender, what's up, my man? Ender in the house. Yeah, man. Thanks for being here. We love to have you here, bro. As soon as everything comes out of production, I'm going to get your info from you, and I'm going to send you your waddle, bro. It's coming. Just waiting for everything.
Let me ask you this. Who are your must-sign backs for this year?
My must-sign backs? Oh, man, what a good question that is. It's a really good question. Very good.
Christian, obviously.
Well, Christian's already under a contract for the season. But my most number one bring back, like if you let this guy go, you're absolutely crazy. You're insane. And that would be the punter, Thomas Morstead.
Oh, man.
That's my number one. That's my number one bring back for the season. Out of all of the free agents, I want him back for sure. And right underneath that, it's probably going to surprise a couple people, but it's going to be Elijah Campbell. I want to bring Elijah Campbell back. I do not want to let this kid go. Don't let him go. We're gonna miss out on something special. Maybe he can play numerous different spots for us. He can play outside. He can play slot. He can play safety. He can play deep safety. He can play punt gunner. Give you some kick coverage. He's great. Bring him back for sure. One other one I would definitely think about bringing back real hard, and it's almost a no-brainer for me. You're probably going to agree with me, would be Brandon Shell. That's the one I'm really like, you need to bring it back to Steve. Thank you, man. Yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell another friend. The Pro Show is here, and we're going to be rocking. But I would definitely bring those three back right there with maybe an outside. And I definitely want to do these two too, which obviously Mostert and Wilson.
I was waiting on you to get there.
Yeah. So in my mind, I'm like going down my list.
Yeah. So if you had to pick one between Mostert and which one, Wilson, who would it be?
Mostert. That's a rough question, man.
Ender,
really
which one?
Rough. I think I'm
Mostert or Wilson.
I think I'm going with Mostert.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he is such a fit for the offense.
He's perfect.
The way that he reads that zone and the way that his speed, and when he sees it, he freaking hits it. Man.
That's what I like.
And then he really understands the cutback and all of that. I want to see him give us more in the passing game.
Me too.
But man, I think having that guy come back. I mean, I didn't realize this. I mean, he had over 1,000 all-purpose yards. Again, the downside is the health.
Sign Saquon Barkley. No, we can't get a bunch of money tied up into a running back. I'm not about that life. I'm not about it. Man. I couldn't do it, man. If you can draft a running back like that, oh, bro, I'm all for it. Yeah, dude, Mostert's vision is elite. I love how he'll bounce that out. And like in the scheme that we run, in an outside zone scheme, that's what they teach you, is to read it from the outside in. So it's like it's not from the inside out. If that outside presents itself, you take it. And that's what Mostert does so well. That's what Edmonds couldn't get down in this system. Like when you see that and it presents itself, you take it. Like during this last season, I highlighted numerous times and showed the lane on a graphic with arrows and everything. Like he needed to bounce that one outside, and he just ran it up into the running back of his offensive lineman. You got to bounce those. That's what the scheme is there for.
So let's not just gloss over this Saquon deal. Let's go. So what is the number? Saquon has said that he's not interested in breaking the bank or setting the market. Is there a number?
Sean Ahmed, yes. I'm interested low-key in bringing him back as well.
Most definitely, Sean.
Yeah, I like Ahmed. But
bring that kid
back.
Man,
I don't know, dude. Like if he's not interested in breaking the bank and he's interested in winning, like I want to win a Super Bowl, that's a different story, bro. That's totally different. For me, you got to play for under $10 million, bro. It's gotta be under 10. No, I would never do 16. You'd never catch me signing up a dude for no 16 that plays running back in this league. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I won't do it. No way. Under 10. In fact, I don't even want to pay you 10. I'll give you 8. I'm sorry. That's how I run game.
So Derrick Henry is highest paid at $14 million a year.
Seeing these guys want to give the dude 16. Hell no, dog. I can't do that kind of stuff. I'm not about that life. I'll give you 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you 10. If you want to win, I'll give you 10. If I'm Chris Greer, I'm like 10. If he says 12, I'm like 10.
So what about front load the signing bonus and then 10 a year?
Now you're talking my game. Yes. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. Let's play ball. Because now I can pay for it a little bit later. It's like a credit card. Yeah, I'm down with that. I'll front end load that thing for you with a 10 and give you a signing bonus of $2 million to make it 12. But there's got to be performance enhancers with that. You need to make and win a playoff game. Okay, those will be written into the contract. In fact, I should be like, we got to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, crap.
I'm serious, dude. This is money we're talking about here. That's $2 million. But I mean, if somebody told me, hey, we're one piece away, Jadavon Clowney, now I'm good on that one. But the Saquon, if they're like, hey, man, we're one piece away from winning the whole thing, and this is the piece, and you're seriously trying to sell me on that, the only way I'm doing that deal, and you're like, we're $2 million away, then of course, okay, fine. Let's just sign off on the 12. We'll give you your $12 million, but we got to make the Super Bowl. Like, it's a must, bro. Like, we're sick of losing around here. The Dolphins want to go all in, go all in. Ross will write the checks, whatever you're like, hey, this is what we need to do. He'll write off on it.
So what do you make of the reports that the Dolphins are the leader in the Saquon going in the clubhouse? What do you make of it?
I don't understand where it's coming from. First of all, before we're going to waste a bunch of money, which I don't know if that's going to be the case. If we waste or not, it might be the best free agent move we ever made in our lives. But before we do that, let's clear some cap space. Like, we don't even know what we're working with. We got no money to pay him right now. I don't understand how we're leading the way to get Saquon. Does Saquon want to be here? That's the first question I want to ask. Does Saquon want to come to Miami? Now, listen, this is the kicker of it all. It's Florida. There's no taxes in Florida. So, maybe we could give you a contract and you don't have to pay your taxes on it, and that makes a more of a favorable destination for you. You know that you want to play down here. And then if that's the case, I'll sign you up for a 4-year deal on something like that,
I mean, that makes the difference. When players sign contract,
I think so.
The agent clearly says, look, in New York, this is a $14 million contract, is equivalent to a $9 million contract in Miami because of the taxes. So the equivalencies are, there when you're looking at, the full breakdown and what does this mean in this situation in this state versus this state. And, a lot of players move to Texas and all, it's all kind of stuff that go on for tax purposes. So, but it's interesting that so I guess you've seen things that say the Dolphins are the leader in this.
I have, but I'm just like, I'm not connecting the tea leaves of the dots here. Like, do I say I don't want the dude? Like, he's the excellent running back. I'm a big Saquon Barkley fan. That guy is sensational. Those tree trunk legs, the speed, he's a perfect combination of speed, power that I want. Yes. He can catch the football out of the backfield. He can block. He's a monster. He's a bell cow. You can give it to him and be like, hey, I need 5 yards. He's going to give you 7. I love it. But the money is the problem I have with, like, and you got to think about this. He does get injured. He gets hurt. We got to think about this stuff. There's a money compensation going along with it. That's why no one puts no high stock into no running backs. That's why Chris Greer is like, running back, I'll get that later. But hell, he can't even hit on an offensive lineman right now. Me and Reggie right here probably be better off making the picks when it comes to the line for this team. I don't know. It's scary, man. That Barkley thing's a scary thing because it's a double-edged sword. It's like we could get the best thing ever and like getting Walter Payton on your team, or we could get that Lawrence Phillips or someone who gets hurt and you just can't count on the dude because he gets hurt all the time. We're dealing with this right now with our quarterback.
Man, if you could, he would make life so easy though.
So simple, bro. You just be like, that's why I wanted Najee Harris. I wanted Najee Harris for the same reason.
So simple. That would almost be unfair, to be quite honest with you, if we could pull that off.
Tell people how that would be unfair, Doc. Like, really, what would it do to the offense?
Well, so now it simply becomes, how many are you going to put in the box? And what do you do with Waddle and Tua? I mean,
damn right. You're screwed.
You run. When you got Saquon who can just gash you and gash you and gash you, you're going to die 1,000 deaths, or you're going to die one death with Waddle or Cheetah over the top. So, and then, Tua, what it does to him, I mean, it just makes life easier. That's why I'm entertaining it. And particularly, and I think we're going to find this out. I think that the money is going to be different than we think, because I don't think Agba comes back. I think
you think they think that's a post-cut June, something like that.
Yeah, I think that how can you justify paying him now? With you can get with Jalen Phillips, and you can't put that much money. Jalen's finna get paid. Agba's getting this. So I don't know if Agba comes back. Byron Jones, what do we do with that money?
He's gone. That's a post-June cut right there.
So I think with some of the things that Jerome Baker, again, another name, do we go out and say we're going to get our linebackers in the draft? Are we going to bring some Fangio guys or whoever the defensive coordinator who may not make as much money but can fill that void?
Right.
So depending on how the money rolls, I could see a scenario, and if we get Saquon, Doc.
Bro, you know what you're starting to bring me over to doing this. And the reason why is because you just brought up such a good point of how much easier life would be with Saquon. Like, I don't think people understand, like, Saquon is an animal. You can literally hand it to him and be like, I need 6. He's going to get you 6, bro. He might get you a touchdown on that play. You don't know.
Let's say this. Let's say it's not Saquon. What about Kareem Hunt?
Oh, I'm all for it. Yeah, I was all about trading for Kareem Hunt when we brought in Wilson. I'd be all for some Kareem Hunt. He fits the system, knows Tyreek. Oh, man, that'd be an awesome fit right there. Yeah, I'm about that life right there. And I bet you could get Kareem for like 5.
Really?
I bet you could get him for like $5 million. Yep.
Because people are going to overpay for him. So I believe they'll overpay for him. So 5 to 7.
I'm down for that either one. Like 7, I'm cool with, because the services are worth it, I would imagine. Yeah. Man, let me throw this one out there. It's a curveball. No one's gonna like it. But take a page out of. I know no one's like this either, but the Patriots do it all the time. The Patriots never pay these defensive linemen. They never pay their pass rushers. Man, Wilkins is going to be commanding a huge bag. You really want Saquon? Might cost you Christian. Ooh. So what if you had to trade Christian Wilkins? See, no, hear me out. You trade Christian Wilkins, but you get a haul for him. You get money come off the books. You get picks.
Right, Sean.
I know. Wow. I'm even saying to myself, like, why the hell would we do that? I don't want to trade the dude, but what if you had to make a move and you don't want to pay him down the road? You trade him. You flip your asset for what you can get right now. Man. Yeah, he can catch out of the backfield, and that's why you're freeing up money with that. Of course, you could probably do it maybe with I like your move better to just let Agba go and pay him with that money. I think I like that a lot more. Yeah. But you want to free up money and don't get yourself into cap hell. You just talked about the monkey wrench. The monkey wrench is Christian Wilkins. See, I'd do it. If somebody offers you a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and a serviceable player for Christian Wilkins, you're not taking that deal?
Oh.
A first round, 2 seconds, and a serviceable player.
Is the 2 seconds realistically, Christian Wilkins, what is his
See, look at that. Sean kidding, not even batting my eyes by Wilkins.
What is his realistic value, though? What is Christian?
Oh, bro, it's astronomically high, bro.
I would say he's a 1 and 3. Is he a 1 and 2 twos? Or is he? I mean, what is his realistic trade value?
His realistic trade value is probably more like a 1 and like a 3 and a 4. But if somebody offers you a first, 2 seconds, and a good linebacker, a Taki, the Browns come up and offer you that deal with Taki, or someone like that. I think Taki's a free agent, but someone like that, or I'll give you even better. The Bengals close out the season, they win the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. Everything goes out. They need to clear some books off the caps, and they offer you that same deal, but Logan Wilson is the linebacker. I'd probably take that. Yeah. But at the same point in time, I don't want to get rid of Christian. I want to keep him, but can we pay him? I mean, you're talking like right now, I'll be honest with you. The way he played last year, those are linebacker tackle numbers, you guys, not defensive lineman. Yeah. Linebacker. Dog, I've never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah. And dude, I'm talking it's going to be like you want to pay $17 to $20 million for Christian Wilkins' services?
Yeah, you're right.
Defensive tackle doesn't win you a Super Bowl. Bingo. That's why I'm saying maybe we should trade the guy. And I'm telling you right now, bro, I've had a feeling about this. I've been thinking about it quite a bit. Love me some Christian Wilkins, but I think the Dolphins are gonna snake him and they're gonna trade him. I hope not, but I hope they can come with a team-friendly deal. Can we pay realistically $17 to $20 million on this team? That's like quarter of your salary going to a defensive tackle. That's like quarterback money, bro.
And when you consider it, you're talking about the defensive line as a whole, how much money you're putting on the defensive line.
It's astronomical because, Jalen's coming up for a deal. You know it, bro. Chubb's already got his deal sitting. You need to ask him for a restructure too, along with all those other guys we asked for. But Raekwon Davis, he's going to want his money as well, bro. Sealer, you're going to let Zach Sealer go, one of the best plug-and-play players we found off of someone's poach. And I'm telling you, he's going to command money, dude, but we could get Sealer for less. Dude, we should trade Christian. You trade Christian Wilkins, you get the draft capital, you save the money, and you pay Zach Sealer like $9 million for like 5 years or 4 years, and you bring him in. I like that plan because now you're saving money. Don't have to attach to the long term. I like Steve, what he's saying. The linebackers are more important, especially if you get Vic Fangio. So honestly, dude, I'm with that right there. Even with this draft, you could go replace Christian Wilkins out of this draft right now. There's 5 techs in there. They might not be Christian Wilkins, but maybe one day they could be.
So Quentin Williams is probably, but he's $8 million a year.
Oh my God, dude! I'd take Quentin Williams over Christian Wilkins, dog. That's just me, but I'll be honest with you, dude. That's a lot of money right there.
So if Quentin Williams is $8 million, then Christian is $10 million because the new contract, new guy. He's going to go up. We got some decisions to make. I don't know if I do any. I don't know what I do. I don't know.
Me neither.
Yeah,
my wife's want me to come get the groceries.
Yeah, Steve, you're right. Sealer is solid and cheaper.
Yes. I'm telling you, solid, cheaper option. I'm just kind of spitballing here. I put on my GM cap. That's what I see. And I just call on you how I see it. If you really think about it, that's the way the Dolphins have done business for a long time. I don't think they're going to pay somebody like that, bro. I really don't. Now, if he's like, hey, I'll pay for $8 million. I'll play for $8 million a deal and do a team-friendly deal. Screw that. We're keeping Christian then. You want to bring me a team-friendly deal and cut me a deal, I'm keeping you. But if you're like, hey, I want $17 million, I'm not settling for $1 less, you're out of here. You're out of here, bro. I'm not even playing. If I was the GM, I would honestly be looking at moves like this right now. What can I get? I'd be calling teams. Are you interested in Christian? Are you going to offer me 2 firsts? You're going to give me a first and 2 seconds? I would call that. Why? Because I don't know if we're going to be able to afford Christian Wilkins' services. That's why dude, he's just like you said, Doc. He's the monkey wrench in the room. It's thrown him into our whole salary now. Now I don't know how we can afford to pay Christian Wilkins. He's too damn good.
Yeah.
But we are running up on the hour right now. We're going to wrap everything up. First episode. It was awesome. I love talking football with all of you guys here. Thank you for joining us. Steve, Sean, our wonderful producer, Rob, in the background, handling everything for us. Gino tried to check in. I think he had some technical issues. We'll catch you up on the next one. All of you guys, Please like and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell another friend. The Pro Show. We're about to be bringing it. We didn't get to a lot of the other stuff like on the Bengals, Chiefs, 49ers. Who do you got, Doc, real quick? Bengals, Chiefs.
I'm against my better inclination. I'm going to go Chiefs and Philly Super Bowl.
All right, I'm going to take the Bengals, and I'm going to take the 49ers. I'm going to take both road teams right here, and we're going to see this thing happen. So until the next time, you guys, we will see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We love all you guys here. We'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.
First kick, I snap into action. When I'm digging in the trenches, get dominated off the line of scrimmage. Read and react quick to make it early diagnosis. Hit you with the quick release like Marino Danny dopeness. Explosive change of direction in the true essence of